everyone, hope you're having a great Thursday and your week is going well. As always, there are three things I wanted to cover today. Real quick, I just happened to open up Twitter or X today and see videos from some random accounts about migrants flooding the beach in Spain. Just assumed, I don't really know these accounts, so I'm not really gonna give this much mind, but turns out the videos are actually real. And there are Moroccan immigrants flooding the the coast of Spain, and yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work out well for them. Them being the Spanish citizens there. You can't have thousands of unvetted migrants just streaming into your country, especially look like most of them, almost all of them are men from what I saw. That's not good. I mean, we're dealing with that a bit here. I would say there's a bit of, women and children, a lot of men, a lot of military-aged men, but yeah, that's a problem that's gonna have to get addressed. I don't know how the Spanish people, I don't know what they think of it. I'm not a Spanish citizen. I have no skin in the game over there. I can only imagine what some people, some citizens there are thinking about this mass immigration that is happening there, mass illegal immigration. But also I think there was the current president there, or whatever they call him or her, gave amnesty to a bunch of citizens or a bunch of illegals, and now everybody's streaming over. That's a problem for Spain. It's not a problem for here, but I just saw it, thought it was interesting. I was like, wow, that's not good. Glad I don't live there. Although I did live in New York City, and hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants flooded the city there. So also, I don't know how much longer Thune is going to be able to continue to BS everybody about passing the SAVE Act, especially now that we have this issue with Cornyn and Tillis regarding the confirmation of Todd Blanche. Now, what I find interesting about Cornyn and Tillis is that, well, Cornyn's still holding a seat even though he lost his primary, and Tim Tillis decided not to run again because he was going to lose and knew it and decided not to run. And now these two are preventing Todd Blanche from getting confirmed. And I just find it interesting. If I were Thune, I would just remove them. I think it just should be standard practice. If you lose your primary or you're not running again, you serve no purpose. And you should lose your chairs. I mean, you're there, that's fine. But if you're not gonna be there in the following year, you shouldn't be able to, especially if you lose. And especially the way that both Tim Tillis decided to drop out and Cornyn ultimately lost. You shouldn't be holding that over the rest of the party in which you say you represent. But we will see. Again, if I were Thune, I would, and I had some balls, I would just remove these folks from their seats. Although I'm still kind of interested in recess appointments, and if Todd Blanche can be a recess appointment, and if most of this is much ado about nothing. But we will see. But I'm also guessing that Cornyn and Tillis are the ones that are holding out regarding the SAVE Act. It's just ridiculous at this point. Although they might be able to get some Democrats to jump the fence. Fetterman looks like he might be one of those Democrats, so we'll see. The other thing that I wanted to cover was just the news on the 6,600 non-citizens being registered to vote in New Jersey, and ultimately 400 of them actually voting. Now, the news will say, oh, there's no proof of widespread voter fraud in the 2020 election, or the 2024 election, or the 2016 election, or so-and-so election. Well, they're referring to federal elections. And that misses the entire point. It doesn't matter. It's not really about federal elections. It's about elections in general. And the margins for, hey buddy, the margins for local elections. There were seven races. Seven races since 2021 in New Jersey, where the margin of winning versus losing was 19 votes. Of those seven, 5 were decided by less than 3. So just to talk specifically about which ones they were, 2021, it was New Jersey General Assembly, District 36, Republican primary write-in. 1 vote separated the winner from the loser in that vote, or in that particular race. Trenton City Council North Ward runoff, 1 vote separated the winner from the loser in that race. Raritan Borough Council, 9 votes separated the winner and the loser in that race. Mendham Township Committee, 3 votes separated the winner and loser. Trenton City Council South Ward runoff, 1 vote separated the winner from the loser. Cape May Point Borough Commissioners, says 1 to 2 votes. Doesn't really matter. Separated the winner and the loser. And then the Chesterfield Township Committee, 19 votes separated the winner from the loser. So when people say that there is no widespread voter fraud, there doesn't need to be widespread voter fraud. There just needs to be fraud. And I think it's becoming more and more difficult for these Democrats to push this as more of this comes out, right? Because the running line before this happened was illegal non-citizens aren't voting in elections. Well, New Jersey's governor just came out and blew the lid off of that. At least 6,600 non-citizens were on their voter rolls, registered to vote through a DMV error that only happened to catch 6,600 of the, I think it's over 100,000, something like that, close to 100,000 of non-citizens that were given driver's license in the state of New Jersey. I think just the law of numbers, roughly like 5 to 10% renew every year. So there's probably more than that. But again, she came out, blew the lid off of that. 6,600 at least that they admitted to were on the voter rolls, and of those, 400 voted. It's not like these people didn't know that they didn't have the right to vote. They knew they were non-citizens. It said that they had checked non-citizen on the form, although the system error added them anyways. They had to get up out of their seats or get up out of bed that day. They had to go take a shower. They had to go get dressed, brush their teeth, do all the things, get in their car in most cases with their driver's license that was given to them by the state of New Jersey, and then take themselves over to the voting district, the voting place in which their district had, and then they had to cast a ballot. Nobody made them do that. It's not like they were like, oh, they just woke up, oh, I have the right to vote. No, absolutely not. But they did. And the question is, and how many other states is this also happening? Nobody wants to answer that question, and that's why these other states don't want to give up their voter rolls, because, in my opinion, it'll become very obvious that the voter rolls are full of people that shouldn't vote. And You'll probably find this significantly more in states that do mass mail-in voting with no voter ID required. California is looking ripe for the picking. Other states like Washington State and Oregon. You might see this in other states as well, like New York State, but we'll see. I just find it very interesting. But again, when people tell you that there is no mass voter fraud, again, there doesn't have to be. There just has to be fraud. And the fraud has direct impacts on these local elections, which is how you end up getting, AOCs and Mamdanis and other people. Like very small percentages of the populations in these areas are actually voting. So it doesn't take many votes cast fraudulently to actually get some of these people over the line. And I won't say that AOC, I'm just using her as an example because it's a very New York City is a extremely low turnout race for any of those races. And I'm not saying that fraud isn't in her case. I'm just saying it's a low turnout race and it doesn't take much to get people over the edge, or in some cases keep people in power. And again, this isn't necessarily a Republican or a Democrat thing. It could be Republican or Democrat. I'm sure that there are some Republicans that are probably benefiting from lax voting laws or, let's say, legally rigging the elections in their states. Lisa Murkowski in Alaska would be a prime example of that, advocating for ranked choice voting, which is the only way that she's been able to stay in because she can game it. And ranked choice voting, no matter what anybody tells you, can be gamed, and it is gamed. But yeah, that's it. Tell me what you think in the comments section below. And as always, keep believing that the best is still ahead for America. Peace out.